God, I gotta wake up now.
Yeah, you do.
Why did you feed me?
Barely fed you. It's
Ugh.
breakfast. Do you not eat breakfast?
No.
Then like a cold one to crack open on the fucking weekend, huh?
At 10 a.m. I think you have a drinking problem.
You brought these on a drink tray. You brought them on a drink tray.
So how many times do they say the prodigal son returns?
Twice?
I thought they said it like 3 or 4 times.
Nah, I think it's only twice. Well, I mean, we're gonna see again.
We should just have like a prodigal son returns like list going. Every time they say it, that's when we jot it down. Also, this guy doesn't look like him.
Like Lionel?
He doesn't look like Lionel at all. Like, who had the jawline? Did Mom?
Well, we know who the mom is.
So, she didn't have the jawline then.
I don't
Because
think
that
she
redheaded crazy woman did not have any. The two of them would not make this child.
No. And I don't think he would be blonde.
All right, so what if I got a good theory here going already? What if this was never really his brother?
What do you mean? So it's just a random person?
It's just a random person that Lionel found. And remember, spoiler alert here, so you better already mute it. But spoiler alert says, if you find out that his records of his history only came about 2 weeks prior of you finding him, maybe he's truly not your brother. Maybe this is somebody else entirely. I would actually request a blood test. And until I see that blood test, he's not really related.
That's a fair point.
Thank you.
There should definitely be a DNA test.
There should. By the way, here's also why. Let's talk about real world now. You know why there should be a DNA test? How much money is he going to be able to get? Like how much money?
Millions at least.
At the very least, they're trying to pay him off in millions. So I can only imagine what the trust fund says. But yeah, so you would have to get a DNA test to be like, I'm not signing this shit over to you.
Yeah, for real. And I bet you it was just like Lex looked at him and said, you know, your hair reminds me of my dad.
Only because it's slicked back?
You have to be him. You have to be my brother.
Hold on, did you say your name is Lucas? Oh, 2 for 2.
Yo. He mentioned a Lucas. Was it earlier? Yeah, it was earlier this season.
He remember when he asked about him and he goes, who was the brother? Did I really have one? Is he still alive? And then that's when Lionel revealed it. So
No,
I
he
think
died.
what we also have to do is like, didn't Lionel have like a lock of his hair or something?
Yeah, very weird.
Wasn't
like
it
serial
blonde?
killer type thing.
Wasn't it blonde?
Mm-hmm.
He's not blonde.
Well, he kind of is, no?
No, I'm not calling this blonde. I thought it was like.
Oh, wait, let me see.
I'm not calling this blonde.
Maybe it was one of those where it's like blonde when they're young.
Are
and
you
then it
sure?
goes to
Because
brown.
that's a little bit ridiculous.
That's pretty brown.
That's pretty brown entirely.
Okay, that's pretty brown. So, yeah.
There's a lot of.
I should have definitely done a DNA test.
There's a lot of things that are not connecting here, and yet everybody's just believing it. Too many holes in this episode, except I will say, I feel like, once again, there's going to be a lot of comparison, specifically in this opening scene, to John Wick, because John Wick stole this scene, right?
Yeah, the poker scene?
Yeah, the whole, like, the motorcycle, like, the whole scene. You know, the Uzis. This is straight shot.
Is this our John Wick episode? Who would even be John Wick?
Lucas.
He doesn't do anything because the way he holds his gun.
Lucas is such a piece of crap. Like,
Wait, what'd you say to me?
I just don't like this guy whatsoever. And at least with Lionel and Lex, you're like, hell yeah. You guys are playing checkers, chess. Lucas is playing like Chutes and Ladders. He is just on his own area. He just doesn't have a resemblance.
His resemblance is his attitude and personality.
I don't think it's the same.
It's kind of hints of both, but like worse in some areas.
There's no gameplay. There's no gameplay from him.
Oh, dude, he's constantly playing games. What do you mean?
No. You know what? All right, we'll get to it. I want you to be able to point out these games to me because I'm not buying them. I feel like Lex and Lionel have the more... Maybe it's just because he grew up on the streets. Maybe I'm not giving him enough street cred. Is that what this is?
Yeah, because
Lucas deserves street
remember,
cred.
he was out on his own for years, bro.
Well, he has a hell of a theory, too.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Thank you for saying that, because I felt like I was going to be the odd man out later on.
What?
But
Because you believe it? Yeah, you're like, this is a true theory all the way.
I love you, Lucas.
Lucas, you're my hero.
Yo, you spitting.
You know what? Let's replace Pete with Lucas.
So, we have Prodigal, the Prodigal Son Returns, but episode 15, season 2 of Smallville. Again, this Two Nerds, Somebody Save Me podcast. And this basically is the return of the child that was mentioned in Lineage, Rachel Dunleavy and Lionel's child.
Hey, by the way, what's with the initials LL in this family? Why is Lionel doing this?
I don't get it.
Like, what?
He really loves it.
So they all have to have the same middle name, too, I would imagine.
That's the House of L.
Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been actually really cool, even though they've probably done that in definitely a story before, with just Lex being able to take over. Elseworld story. Yes.
Yeah, they have some episodes like that later in the seasons. Like alternate types storyline, like a what if, pretty much.
Okay, are you going to be like the brothers and also spoil things for me too? Is that what you're going to do? Because we're not going to have guests for at least 2 months because of what I had to endure last episode.
Yeah, behind the scenes last episode, there were some spoilers made. Because Taylor technically has not seen this whole show yet.
And even if he did...
And I've watched it over maybe twice.
And I have not watched it over until this podcast. And if I did even watch that episode, I don't remember anything.
Dude.
I remember, like, the skanky moments. Not the important moments.
Look, man. You can't be that mad, bro. You're eventually going to find out. And you're going to eventually forget, too. Because, honestly, what they mentioned happens a while from now.
That's good. I'm glad that they mentioned something towards the end of the entire series.
It's not towards the end.
Is it halfway?
I'm never going to tell you.
I already know. It's season 5.
Damn.
Yeah, see, you think that I'm going to forget something like this? No. Brothers, I hope you're listening. Go to hell.
Yeah, I hope it hurts, dude. And so, again, we're about to begin this episode. We want to point out, of course, thanks for listening today. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one, aren't we?
We're not going to have any fun. These next 2 episodes, oh my God, everybody buckle in. They are not going to be long episodes because there's no way in hell I can talk this long.
And then, of course, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Mainly Taylor. Follow Taylor's account for us on Twitter. Somebody save _ on Twitter.
Talk smack to me. If you don't, I don't like you.
For real. Like, just make his life a living hell. I said, Taylor, you got to do this. He's like, all right.
But only if they talk shit. If nobody says anything to me, you know what? I think it's too friendly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I love that I'm the one jamming over here. You just have to look at me in silence.
That's completely fine, only because I have the theme so stuck in my head at this point, it's almost like I'm there with you listening as well.
Yeah. And
in spirit.
And so, just to point out here, the episode is special guest starring Paul Wesley, who probably most people know from Vampire Diaries.
Is that your favorite show? Is that where you knew him from?
No. Well, I mean, I did know he was from there.
Because you watched it? Because it's your favorite show?
It was commercials all the time.
ABC
all the
Family.
way from 2009, bro. Like 2009 to 2017, Vampire Diaries. And, of course, Paul Wesley played one of the main dudes, Stefan Salvatore.
God, they just cashed in on the Twilight. You know what?
That's true, actually. They did.
It's what everybody did. Whenever Twilight came out, then you had True Blood, then you had Vampire Diaries. Everybody wanted a vampire.
It was a big trend. It
Still is. I watch that stuff all the time.
Sucking blood.
That's all I do.
Living long.
Yep.
And so the episode opens up to China.
No. This would
China?
be Edge City that it opens up to, where we are now at a poker table with an individual. We don't know who he is yet. He is playing some hand, and he seems to be a cocky little youngster here. Just being able to speak Chinese, being able to sit at this table. I'm not sure how he got the invite. And the women that are standing on the side of the table are actually supposed to be the bodyguards, which I love. I'm just going to throw that out there. But cutting over to the next area, we have a security guard going in, hearing a sound, and he sees that it's a waiter who has a camera set up, because it seems that the white guy at the table and the waiter that's in the back
are in cahoots.
And they seem to be playing the poker game together in order to see who has what with their hands.
This is like, it's like a weird mix of the movies 21 and Molly's Game.
And John Wick. But yeah, so I do want to point one thing out to you here. So he has to cheat, and he bets 1,000, and this old man, he also then raises.
It just shows he sucks at cards.
No. The old man is mad because he lost with a single pair. And he's like, you're getting lucky tonight. You lost with a pair. Dude. What do you mean? You had just the most basic hand of poker, and you're betting big money with it, and you're like, this little
man had
shit.
3 of a kind.
Who cares? I would just say if he had 2 pair, he would have won.
That's true.
That's what I mean. He has the weakest hand.
So you're getting lucky tonight.
And then he starts sucking on pig's feet. I think he's sucking on pig's feet.
He's sucking on some meat in front of this dude.
I think he was supposed to like insinuate that he likes to eat animals. Or is that just like is that a Chinese thing? Is that
maybe?
Is that what they're implying? I'm not implying that. I'm just asking a question.
It's like a weird hentai thing.
Is that's hentai? I mean, no, I would know if
he's looking at him, eye contact.
Yeah.
Look at this meat I'm sucking on.
Yeah.
And the bodyguard gets that waiter out, or that worker, and shows that, just busted this dude. Who you working with? And he obviously singles out the young dude at the table.
He doesn't even say anything. They just accuse that it's the white guy because nobody recognizes this guy. Nobody knows how he got into the club.
Well, the Chinese guy did say, "Oh, you're getting very lucky tonight."
Okay.
What happened here? Okay, so basically he's busted, right? He flips the table. He starts running. He's fighting.
He's flying everywhere.
Yeah, young kid is flying. And he's trying to.
I need everybody to just pay attention, and you specifically as well here, Joseph. Watch how he decides to take the stairs. He would be knocked out. He would not be able to get up after this fall. Look how he takes the stairs. He takes it head first.
Bro, he dove down on the stairs.
He hit his head on the pavement.
He wanted to, just die right then and there. He's like, oh no, I'm going to die anyways.
Whoever that stuntman is, I'm not sure if he's around anymore.
That was his last scene?
He really hit it hard.
That was his last scene, actually. R.I.P. that stuntman.
Did you have a fun fact about that?
No,
it wasn't a fun fact.
That's under wraps, dude.
Got it.
It's redacted.
Can't talk about it. But yes, he gets back up as if it's nothing. All of a sudden, they're
blasting the Tech 9s. What the hell? Just blasting Tech 9s all down the stairs, and
he grabs another security. They fire at him. We got blood everywhere. He runs out into the rain.
Yeah, that kid just killed someone, basically.
Yeah, no.
It's like, oh, hey, you're trying to get me?
Oh, and by the way, what a life when you're 18 years old. Am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Goes out into the rain, where in the alley, you know what I always have ready for me to go? A motorcycle bike. Because that's what I always want to be able to make sure with my getaway. It's going to be in an alley, and it's going to be with the widest bike I could find in order for everybody to see where I'm at.
Yes. And it's super wet, and it's like just pouring rain, and the motorcycles...
Look at everybody jump out of his way as he's going down the alley. He's not even hitting them, and people are just falling out of the way. Like they're jumping into the wall. Look at that.
So are you still going to just safely assume this is Chinatown?
Yeah. No, this is still Edge City. But now they fire into the alley, and they truly kill about 20 people. Somehow...
Yeah, no one got out the way yet.
No.
That far out.
Lucas, who I thought was hit by a bullet, and his motorcycle goes crashing into the dumpster, somehow just begins to crawl away as if he's not in fact shot. Lex then pulls up in a vehicle. Lex gets out of the car, and Lex says, "Do you know who I am? I'm your brother. Come with me."
Yeah, he just says, "Lucas, I'm your brother. Let's go." Would you go?
So my other question to you is, yes, I would, because obviously if I'm having men chase after me with Uzis, then I'm going to have to be able to get into the vehicle because guess what? I have nowhere else to go because my plan was to crawl away. and to crash my motorcycle into a dumpster.
And it's pouring rain, so, just going to walk away.
What was his plan? Because obviously
to die.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, this kid has done this before, where you're believing that, okay, he may be a gambler, he's living on the streets, he's in with a bad crowd. He should have a better backup plan than just having the waiter guy not rat me out. Like, that's what he's hoping for the entire time.
Yeah, and honestly, the waiter did not do a very good job on his end. He's just, in the back room, where it can be easily accessible.
Well, they had just the one camera in that, little dragon statue, and you're just, okay.
And why would you not have the screen facing away from the door?
Why would you just have a better hiding place, period? Why are you out in the middle of the open? Why didn't you take the day off? Why didn't you just leave work? Obviously, if you're doing something like that, you're going to get paid more than what your shift is. I wouldn't go back. Just go to the bathroom.
Dude, that guy's fired.
That guy is so... You think he's dead?
I hope so.
Or do you think, maybe his family was in the alleyway, and then when they fired all the Uzis in the alleyway, they then take him outside and they go, look what we did to your family.
Wow.
That's what I got out of it.
That's like Fast and Furious?
Well, that's what this whole beginning... It's John Wick, Fast and Furious. It's whatever.
It's the first one.
Whenever I actually put in my notes, though, for this beginning scene, I go, is this real? Is this actually happening, or is this some type of dream flashback that I'm not aware of?
Are we in China?
We're not in China. It's Edge City.
But they don't even clarify that until later.
No. They clarify it.
But, later.
Oh, so you're saying right... No. The moment that Lex pulled up his car, I really thought, oh, this is an area of Smallville, then, I guess, that I don't recognize.
Yeah, so it's just, in the back or something.
Yeah. They have a lot of dirty secrets at Smallville, if you didn't know. Probably have an Asian parlor, too. Massage parlor. Oh.
Massage parlor. And then so we have the Talon now. We walk into Clark.
Oh my god. I'm going to have to get into this scene here because I have probably... I have to pause it. So what we do find out, and Clark walks in, Lana setting down the chairs. She's like, oh, hey, what's going on? I didn't expect you to be such an early coffee drinker. He's like, I'm actually here for the help wanted sign, as you can see.
Lord.
Let's make it better, though. So now we're showing over to the trash can where we happen to see the rose. That means that this is the next day.
Yes.
So after the whole issue happened with him kissing Chloe and Lana crying and saying, I hate you, get away, this is never going to work.
Clark decided to go back the next day and ask for a job.
What balls do you have, Clark Kent? What are you talking about? Why would you ever think this is a good idea?
It's probably one of his best.
This is one of his worst.
Dude, this is the moment when, look, last night he left the Talon and was just like, damn, I messed up again,
Took pizza and rose.
Yeah, pizza and a rose, and he's like, I just wasted $30, and I just took the biggest L. Go back home, I'm gonna roll up a fat doobie to just forget about all my sad and worriness, and just totally got blitzed that night, dude. Woke up, damn, what did I do yesterday? He forgot, bro. I'm telling you, that's a stoner moment. This man is living in his own fantasy.
I'm going to have to believe every single word you just stated because of the fact he was here 10 hours ago.
Bro.
He was here 10 hours ago. So why... What? And also...
Definitely within 12, bro, because, what was that? At most 10 p.m. last night.
Yeah, it was 10 p.m. because she was closing.
Yeah.
And here's also my other issue with it, is that she's like, oh, well, I don't think this is going to be a good idea. I think Hank's hardware store is going to be able to open up. They're looking for people. Ouch. What do you mean, ouch?
You coming in here asking this question, bro.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, Lana's basically saying no. It's like, oh, God, I don't want to hire you, Clark.
But she's trying to say it in a nice way, which is why why wouldn't you be able to take the hint unless you got so blown out of your mind?
Dude.
That you just cannot remember 10 hours ago. And instead, in my opinion, he comes in making himself look like an ass.
Dude. Yeah. Well, he's already an ass and everyone knows it.
That's true.
The idiot of the town, bro.
And then she feels sorry for him. And then he's like...
Yeah, it becomes like a little pity party. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
She hands him an application. She's like, all right, fine, Clark, because you're about to cry, here's an applicant. I'll put it with the others.
Pretty much, dude. He's legit has the puppy eyes going. Like, he's practically Puss in Boots right now.
I'm like really pissed off, though, at him. I'm
Yeah.
like really mad that
he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
And so now we have such a great scene transition. We go to Metropolis here, and Lionel, blind Lionel, is blind Lionel, and so he's going over some deal with Brian, and
who's not there because he has a fetish for clocks and is in Prague.
Yeah, whatever that means. Lionel's always speaking cryptic, you know? And so Lex and Lucas come to find out is Lex's brother. And he's now spoiling the surprise on Lionel here.
And you know what Lionel's first reaction is? Let me feel your face.
Lucas? Oh my god.
Also,
oh my god.
It's
grabbing his ass as he hugs him.
Okay, but this also, red flag. You know what the red flag is? Not questioning, not saying anything, automatically believing that, oh, this is my son. Lex found him.
He's like totally buying it.
If I'm Lex, I actually question it. Because I would be like, why do you believe me so fast? That was like 5 seconds. That's not like you. You would never buy into it unless like you were expecting me.
And yeah, it's weird.
But
and I just hate how casual this shit is. We just come in and it's like, it's like, yeah, what's up, man? He's like, son, so glad to have you back. It's like, yeah, I just
hasn't
whatever.
It been like
also why even hug? You know, would you hug your father at this
hasn't
point?
It been like 18 years? Where because you gave me up. Did you even know me when I was born? Did you ever hold me when I was a baby?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. So
and Lex is already mad at his decision.
Well, to your point though, I would not have hugged him. I would not. If I'm even Lucas, this is actually weird for me.
It's very weird.
Because why would you want to hug him?
Yeah. Why? And then, of course, Lionel purposely bought this sword just because he wanted to look cool.
This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. For Lucas to then walk over and say, oh, you are my father. We have the same taste in Asian weaponry. Oh, look at the dragon on the handle. That means it has to be worn on the right side of the hip.
Rare left-handed sword.
Oh, let me open it.
Fake.
What a bitch.
He's such a cocksucker.
I would actually loved it. Maybe some Rurouni Kenshin stuff. It's like, ooh, a reverse blade sword. Ooh. Can't kill anybody with it. Why would you want this, Dad? It's because I gave up my life as Batosai the Manslayer.
Okay.
That...
I think that's what Lucas was getting at.
That's
that's the vibe I picked up.
Big anime fan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Even by the game he's playing later, which I don't know if you even know about. But
I like your fake, though, that he's just one an asshole.
He's such a cocksucker. I'm like, dude, this is my son. I would say that. I'd be like, damn, this is my son.
The moment he called it a fake, is like, yeah. See, but that's what I mean is that there would have been some type of proof that then would have shown. And that's also a big deal right there that we just saw of Lionel pouring the water into the glass. Everybody needs to focus.
You know what? Let me
that.
rewind because I remember him mentioning it. And, of course, this is a big hit here. But, so Lex finally drops the bomb. Like, oh, yeah, come to my surprise. Lucas is here.
Found him in Edge City.
Yeah. As we know, the mask, Stanley Ipkiss.
Yes. I wish they would have brought him in. What if Lucas had the mask?
No.
What if we would have just made this a big turnaround? Like, just make him an actual person.
And I guess,
come on, he has the face for the mask.
And so, of course, he tells pretty much Lucas, please go away. Tell my chef to make you whatever you want. He went to the back, told him, hey, make me a grilled cheese. And
he's now saying, I need to talk to Lex very privately. Mm-hmm. And Lionel is now going into his, oh, Lex, I see what you're trying to do here because Lucas now just turned 18 and now he's entitled to a 10% of Luthor Corp is what it states inside of the trust fund. I also just have to pause it here. Because again, you and I are both businessmen. When it comes to a trust fund, I thought it's only allowed to be touched if the person dies.
Trust? No, it can be touched if
I didn't think that the person has automatic access to it the moment they turn 18. I thought there was some stipulations to it.
What all depends on it, bro, because, I'd be knowing trust.
That's what I mean. It's business talk. It's business talk here.
But, no, actually with trust, man, it's all about the documentation. If they, on the legal side, are appointed in writing to be trustees, heirs and whatnot, trustees can access it. Those are the trustees are like basically the ones
that have
authority.
Control. Yeah.
There's grantors, but they assign people to be trustees, and the grantor can die. But say once there's even a stipulation where a grantor dies, now the heirs can touch it.
So in a way, it states inside that they have.
It's all about the writing,
the wording of
writing.
it.
That's all it is.
Because
you're right. There are some that probably in writing say they do not have access to this or cannot access the funds until my passing. Something happens. Situational.
Sorry to deep dive into this even more, but I want to see the document for the Luthors because it has to be an agreement that Mom came up with. There's no way in hell Lionel is going to say, think about that.
Because Lex points out that, it's pretty neat how, we can automatically claim your inheritance, as heirs. Any heirs. And it's so general. So Lionel's honestly a piece of shit because if he kept it that general, that means he has illegitimate children everywhere.
But 10% of the company means he knows he doesn't have very many.
Oh, that's true.
Because, that's a lot, by the way. I couldn't even believe that he even said that much. Maybe 5% of the shares? Sure. 10%? What are you even talking about now?
10%.
But the reason why this is a big deal is because this is the 10% that Lex needs in order to be able to take over Luthor Corp in order to get his company back for just him. Because remember, Lionel screwed him over. Lionel
trying to get it back, basically.
Lex is still trying to one-up his dad. He's trying to get some payback here. Lionel is essentially laughing at him, though. Oh, I know a game you're trying to play. Just know it's not going to work, but I bet that's why the board members aren't taking my calls.
He's planning a coup, as he says.
And that one guy's in Prague doing his clock fetish. Do you want to take over the next best scene on planet Earth?
I would love to. Man, so basically Lionel tells Lex to just go away, and we come to possibly the best scene in this show. In this episode, but also the worst scene as well. It's, we have Clark shooting hoops with Pete, and already, like I told you earlier before we even started, man, Pete's been making some good points in this episode.
You've missed him. Can you just say that you missed him?
So Pete and Clark are shooting hoops at the barn, and of course, Pete's just telling Clark, of course Lana is not going to hire you, you idiot. What the hell? Are we the only one with sense around here?
Pete is the one that's having to be the reasonable person saying,
hey, dude.
Do you remember what happened, 12 hours ago?
It's like, how blitzed did you get last night? It's like working at the towel, and he even tells him, how obvious can you be, Clark? Like, how much more obvious can you be? And even Clark's like, well, what happened to Pete Ross's, proximity rule, like keep close to the chest type thing? And it's like,
But this is what I hate, though, is that Clark even then says, if you want to get in the game, you got to get on the court. Hold on, where was this for the past season and a half? Yeah. What do you mean on the court?
And even Pete claps back with him and is like, dude, this is like totally different now. She's going to be your boss. This is like not trying to holler at her, like you're going to go work for her.
And she's going to take out all of her anger, all of the anger that you have done to her, last night, and she is going to make you clean out the toilets. Joseph, I'm not understanding Clark's thinking. And also, the comment of being on the court really did piss me off. That really did. Since when you want to be in the game for her, dude? Since when you actually want to be honest with her? Being in the game...
he messed up his date yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, he really has pissed me off. Oh, my God.
And dude, yeah. And also, it's like, this could actually permanently change the relationship if you start working for them. And that could actually mess it up more.
And to your point, it would make it weird if you're trying to hit on her the entire time when you're supposed to be using that as a job.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Dude, and he makes no sense. And of course, as they're, shooting their hoops, and they're just laughing about it, Lex pulls up with this brand new brother. It's like he got a new puppy, bro.
It's a new toy he has to show off.
He's like, hey guys, check out my new puppy. His name's Baxter.
Isn't he cute?
Okay, we're gonna leave now. But anyways, yeah. So Lex and Lucas pull up in the Porsche. It's like, hey, this is Lucas, my brother.
And Clark does the
And
normal
that's all
reaction.
Lex says, by the way. He just comes, hey guys, this is Lucas, my brother.
Lucas then says, though, what's up, guys? Clark's reaction is, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to make this as awkward as humanly possible.
Yeah, why not just say, oh, hey, like, and then go and talk side by side?
So if I'm Lucas and I'm 18 years old, and I'm going to a 15-year-old boy's house, and I'm
15,
saying,
that's right. He's
and I'm
younger.
saying, hey, what's up? And he doesn't say anything to me, I'm immediately like, what are you doing? Like, you're in high school. Like, you're a child.
You know, it just made me think about, because Lucas is 18 and then Clark is 15.
Yeah.
But they got them mixed up in lineage on the birth certificate, the adoption papers.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No, it's because Lionel was right. That woman was crazy.
But then, like...
Okay, well, wait. So then let's...
Unless she had absolutely no detail of when... she would know when he's born. You know, that day that he comes out of her body.
Then let's do it from my earlier theory. This isn't Lucas. This is not really...
Lucas?
It's not really his son. That's not really his brother. If you want to believe Crazy Redhead, because that's what this comes down to here. Do you want to believe Crazy Redhead, where then she's exactly right on the date of birth of her son, or... do you want to believe that this is Lucas?
You know, they say Thanos was crazy, too.
Thanos was right. Everybody knows he was right. I know we're not supposed to do Marvel talk, but whenever we talk about the greatest villains, we have to include Thanos because he was right. Let's always remember.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Well, what about Darkseid, then?
Darkseid is his... Oh, my God. Mr. Miracle. If we could just dive into that, I could be going on. Because Darkseid is... I told the wife, by the way, last night. That's how freaky this is. Last night, I found that shirt. Black T-shirt just says that. I told her, you have to get this for me. She says, no. Then what? You don't even love me. She's like, you can buy it yourself. I go, it doesn't mean anything. You need to buy it for me. It's just...
Just put it on, like, a wish list.
I'm going to get that shirt.
Or, you know what? You should get...
Tom King's also a big listener of the show, I hear. You know, the writer.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's definitely one of our
He's all
listeners.
about this.
And so... So anyway, so we're on the theory that it's either not Lucas or it is
That's
Lucas.
a great connection that you point. I didn't even remember the lineage. It wouldn't have matched. They're not the same age.
Yeah, they're not the same age. And knowing she is crazy, don't get me wrong, but to be crazy about something specific like that, you're definitely going to remember the day that baby came out of your fucking body.
It's also 3 years. That's a pretty big difference.
Exactly.
That's not.
And you're going to have that date in your head the whole time. You're going to come to Clark's house like, oh, unless you really just went super crazy and kind of just mixed up the years. But...
And I also doubt that Clark and him had the same birthdays, too.
Yeah. Because what happened? Meteor shower 89?
Yep.
Yeah, so he would be 86.
Doesn't make sense here. I like it. I like the connection stuff.
But so Clark and Lex are talking to each other because Clark is mainly so awkward because he knew Lucas to be dead. He was under the assumption, like everyone else, that he was dead.
Hold on. I just had to pause it real quick, and I'm sorry that we're already doing this. Joseph, I don't think that's why he was awkward.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally think it's a jealousy thing.
Okay. I was like, oh, I think that he's legitimately jelly.
Brother? Real? No.
Well, I've been looking for him for months. Why didn't you tell me, Lex, that you were looking for him?
Why didn't you tell me so I could have stopped you?
Because...
Lex, do you keep something like that from me? I could have told you this isn't the right thing to do.
Do we even know if it's him?
Yeah. And he's like holding his hand as he tells him, like, dude, you should have told me. And he's like trying to like make sure Lucas is looking as he's holding his hand.
You're on the same page of this is inappropriate from Clark too, right?
Dude, it's very weird.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Dude, I'm almost positive something went wrong in the hashish last night, man. Like this dude,
we're 0 for 2 so
this
far.
Dude
for
is
him.
on one today. I don't know what he took. Maybe he was drinking too, man. Maybe he blacked out.
But remember, it doesn't affect him. We know that alcohol doesn't affect Superman.
Damn it, that's true. Damn, would we do it?
Yeah, I would have to. Come on.
He'd probably need a lot. He's got a whole farm though.
I was gonna say he has all of John's growing.
No wonder they're
hemp.
poor. Clark's smoking it all. And that's his punishment. John makes him do his chores. You know, John, he's got it right. He's got it right.
John does not have anything right. But what Lex does do is that he gets a phone call, and it's from the bank. He starts to freak out. He's like, oh, I got to go here. Lucas, let's go. And Clark then makes a suggestion. Well, no, Lucas can stay here.
In a very cool way. But it's like, why weren't you acting like this literally like a minute ago?
Hey, you know how you introduce yourself? You stick out your hand and you shake somebody's hand. That's how you actually do it.
Yeah, you just don't look at him and say, hey.
You gonna stay here? You gonna hang
Hey,
out?
you want to play some ball?
You gonna play ball?
I have my black friend here. His name's Pete.
Pete, you play center, right? I'm sorry, what?
What? I'm
power forward?
I'm 5'5". And so now they're shooting hoops, and Lucas already points out, like, well, you and Lex seem close, Clark.
Pete then makes a little joke. What, are you kidding? They're like brothers. Fight.
This was so unnecessarily awkward.
Why was it awkward?
Guys don't do this.
We also don't do it with meeting each other 15 minutes. And even for me, I'm over polite whenever I'm meeting somebody's sibling, especially my best friend's brother.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be weird and I love him more than you.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're like brothers. And then Clark makes it even weirder with his face. And it's like, dude, stop.
What?
It's like it's gay or something. I don't understand. Like, is it weird? Is it, like, weird for you? I don't understand. Why is it so weird?
Why would it be weird? It's like a brotherly love. I don't understand.
I won't even say guys wouldn't do this. It's just like normal people would not be this awkward.
I was going to say, I don't even think like
there's like
siblings do this.
Their social awareness is lacking inside the whole town.
Well, with the alternative high schools, alternative middle schools, alternative elementaries, I'm
supplying the whole town with pies and food and vegetables. Dude, they're feeding something into them.
Luthor Corp's probably putting kryptonite in all their food, their water supply.
Yummy.
You know what? It's like the crazies.
Oh,
that's what we have
water.
going on here.
And so, of course, Lucas is like chuckling. He's like, brothers, huh?
Yeah, let's blow it up. So, Lucas, where'd you grow up? You know what? I grew up all over. You know, no one's going to ask me any more questions about that.
And, of course, Pete's just like, oh, it must be weird not knowing your mom or dad. I know mine.
No, you know what? Do you have parents? No, that sucks. I do.
It's crazy you don't have parents, low-key.
Hey, that must have sucked because Lex grew up with his parents, but you didn't, right? Man, that's lame.
But yeah, and it's like, and so, of course, Lucas says, my theory is that, it's really... Your parents try to make you into forms of little selves.
The constraints of your parents is how we refer.
Growing up, and you end up just being like them. So when you have no parents, you become your own person. You find out who you really are.
That's an interesting theory.
I don't buy it.
All right, Clark, let me take you for example. So if you were to grown up with Lionel, you would have been just an emotional, rich, spoiled brat. And if Lex would have grown up with your parents on this farm, he'd be wearing flannel too. All right. Valid point here, Mr. Lucas. You got me on the ropes right now.
It's a solid point. That theory is good.
Okay, but growing up on the street is not better.
Yeah.
That's not, because that's what he
honestly, the Lucas should be homeless.
That's what I mean, is that you can't tell me that the influence of your parents, albeit true, is worse than what Lucas was doing if you can't tell where he was in Asian Town to start the episode and him having Uzis fired upon.
And then, of course, since Clark doesn't agree, Lucas calls him out to a game of one-on-one.
Let's now get into something really inappropriate. So, Lucas
and the song that plays, my good... You know what? Nah, we're gonna definitely rewind that a bit.
You're gonna only...
I'm gonna play this.
No.
They need to hear it.
They don't need it.
They need to hear this song, dude.
Check it up. Oh, here we go.
Check it up.
Yeah, all-time low.
This is not all-time low. What is this? They're going one-on-one, and of course Lucas is shoving his shoulder. He's shoving his shoulder.
So
as he walks past him. And Lucas scored on him, by the way. Clark missed the first shot.
We already found out what happened when Clark didn't have powers whenever he played basketball against Whitney and his bro at lunchtime, and Clark had his boo-boo. Clark is terrible. He made no jumpers the entire episode.
And Pete's over here laughing. He's like laughing at Clark, and Clark's like getting that irritated laugh, like, this cocksucker, man.
All right, so this is where I would have to obviously digress to the brothers because they would have to give the speech. Since they're not there, maybe you can help out. This is where we have to focus on the inner Jonathan, right? And say,
yeah.
Hey, we have to be mature since we have powers, and we have to not be an asshole.
Yeah, we're 15 years old, Taylor.
Okay, seriously, this goes back to your other point, which also bothers me. The jealousy is weird.
It's very weird.
He should not be acting like this, where even Pete is standing on the sideline. Look at his face. He is like, dude, stop. Like,
and he even, because, like, he goes and blocks, and he's like, oh, okay. Clark's over here jumping. And then Clark over here drives it in and slam dunks it on the hoop. And his face when he slams it, he's like, yeah, I did that shit. I slammed it.
if he would have pounded his chest, I probably would have respected it a lot more than what it actually was. Because also,
even Pete has to butt in. He's like, hey, they're not trying to get hurt out here. Just friend the game, man. And he's trying to hit at him like, dude, chill out. And he's going over there just aiming for the hoop. Okay, Lucas's fault. I'm going to say this right now. This is Lucas's fault all day, bro.
You're, like, so
As
offended
Clark
by this.
goes up for the drive, and I understand both of these guys are being just really stupid. Clark goes up for the hoop. Lucas, like, you saw him.
Yeah.
He swung with his elbow.
Yeah.
Straight at, like, what, his chest?
It was his, I
Arm?
think his shoulder.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically he wanted to hurt him.
Okay.
If he was normal, that'd be definitely like some type of bruise, possibly even a disconnection break.
Okay, it wouldn't be. And now let me
He's
get
15 years old.
No, let me get to my point on why. So I have played basketball here in my life on the blacktop
No.
with much bigger individuals, aka 6'5" people. I'm 5'6". Lucas, where are you going to put him at? Let's say 5'10", 5'8", 5'10", around that.
Sure.
Let's put Clark about 6'3", 6'5", around that area.
I'm gonna put him at 6'3" at most.
All right, then fine. You know what? I'll still take the 6'3". Lucas, without the powers, you still may be the biggest moron I've ever seen in my life. What on earth? Because even with Clark, like, dunking and everything, I would be like, okay, cool. Like, way to go, tall guy. Even with, like, the elbow, even
It's
with,
like,
like,
yeah, you're tall. I can't do that.
even with Clark, like, talking all his smack, if I'm Lucas, I have nothing to lose. You are 2 feet taller than me. Of course you should owe me a basketball, moron.
Yeah, it's like if you're bad,
But instead, Lucas is the one that looks like the idiot because
he's also 18.
he tries to then hurt Clark where it's like
The straight
dude.
swing on the elbow, and then even Pete's like, damn it, dude. And it's like, well, that's Lucas's fault, bro.
Clark grew up on a farm. He looks pretty big. Without powers, I don't think that's gonna hurt him, Lucas.
Yes, he's an idiot. That man's battle hardened on that farm, dude.
I am so confused.
Let alone he's an alien.
Look, Lucas, take your ball and go
And
home.
even as he hurts himself, he's like, oh, man. Hey, no hard feelings, right? What?
No. You gotta continue. No hard feelings, right? Can you take me back to the mansion?
Hey, can you give me a ride back to the mansion? I just made a fool of myself. Pete's like, yeah, I'll get you back. And so, God, that scene's over. My goodness. Now we go back to Talon.
So I was actually.
Let me just talk about it. You know what? Actually,
No,
hold on real quick.
I was a big fan of this
No,
scene.
you're gonna be fine. No, not that. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
the fact that we go to the mansion and the Talon and the farm so much in this episode. My goodness, I think this is our 3rd trip to the Talon already. Is it not?
No, it's second. It's second because the first one was the help wanted. This is second.
All right,
So yes, but to your point,
dude. I think
yeah,
it
they had
happens
no
2
other
or 3
sets.
more times.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
They had
so
no other
That's
sets
all I
this
wanted to
episode.
point out because they just keep going to the same 3 spots the whole time. Actually, they go to Luthor Corp again too, but
Yeah, but The Office, we even said whenever they first introduced it during the hostage that it was going to be now a big part.
That's
Don't
true.
worry, we're now
That's
staying
true.
consistent here.
yeah.
So Chloe then walks into the town, and Lana is sitting on the stairs. She is going through the job applications. She's like, oh, hey, Chloe, you like your regular coffee? Okay, let me go tell somebody to get that for you because I'm not doing it. Then gets her order, goes back. Chloe is already looking at the job applicants, mainly focusing on Clark's. I'm actually into Chloe this scene. Obviously, I'm usually into her over Lana, even if
she's
it's just
being
a smidge.
like the actual
normal,
normal, even sisterly type friend.
And it's weird because for once, we're not focused on, oh no, Lana and Clark are going to be spending time together. Instead, it's, Lana, you're an idiot. All right, come on. I get Clark is Clark, but he's also worked for the Torch, and I can actually vouch for him being like,
I do love that too. She's
Yes.
like, you know, even if he's in his special time, Clark time, he comes through every single time.
that is huge coming from her.
And it is true. That's good. But this is also like being a waiter or hostess, you know? It's like you can't just be you having your own set of time rules and still have this type of job.
Completely fair, and I even put that in my notes too. I go, Clark can't do the job because at least even with the torch, sure, like you could.
There's a deadline to
be
met, and he's gonna make it. But that's not the case at the Talon when you got deadline coffee being served every 5 minutes.
Well, I was gonna say, and it's not just hey, write this article for the whole month. It's hey, we're gonna need to have you every other day here, being able to serve this coffee
at this set of time, all the time.
Oh, we're going to get to it later on, but Lucas was right. But going on is that Chloe then says, all right, Lana, what's the real reason here? Do you really not think that Clark could do this job?
Was it because of last night?
Yeah, I know. Was it? But she can't remember. Chloe has that benefit of the doubt because her memory is not there when it came to the worm. Oh. So that is where she has the excuse all in the world. Same thing with Pete. Lana.
Okay, so Chloe's asking in the sense because Lana, obviously there's history between them, and that's the only reason why.
Yes, and Chloe, that was not a setup from her for once, which is why I really liked her in that scene. She was being normal. She was being the friend.
She's great.
Yes.
I think she's good. I think she's great in that episode. Or scene.
Hey, let's go to the scene that doesn't make sense now.
Back to the mansion. Oh, man. And so now we have, of course, Lionel is talking on the phone at the mansion. Lex walks in angry saying, why are my bank accounts frozen? Dad!
And it seems what Lionel has revealed is that, oh, hey Lex, that was a shitty job for you to put all of your assets into LexCorp because now that it's a subsidiary of
Luthor Corp, everything you own is now mine.
And guess what? Now I'm going to freeze everything and I'm going to control everything. Also, Lex, get out of my house. Okay.
Bro.
Can I go back to the storm and letting him die?
Bro. I'm right there with you. Because the nerve, dude. He said, you know what? Yeah, pack your things, get out of my mansion. What?
What is going...
What?
You live in Metropolis!
Dude. No. He bugged his own office. He wants to stay there.
Yeah, exactly. What is this? At this point... Lionel has now decided, you know what? The game, I'm ending this round. And this is how I do it, by just playing a trump card, believing that now I get to kick Lex out. At this point, I'm just thinking back to Lex. Lex, we've used a gun before, right?
Dude.
We
have.
I have a gun in my room.
I'll get it right now, under my bed. Kill him together.
Boom, dead, done. But yes, I am so upset with how Lionel is once again throwing it all in Lex's face, believing that you screwed up.
Oh, for real.
You never had the upper hand because guess what? I was always the winner. Lex then reminds Lionel that can't be the case because even with you kicking me out, me and Lucas will then take over the company together. But guess who's standing behind him?
Lucas.
And guess who seems to have made his own deal? And I just have to pause it real quick because we're not getting to the end and I don't want to spoil it. So right now, this scene doesn't make sense because I'm not going to choose the father that abandoned me 18 years ago.
Dude.
Over the brother that was actually looking for me.
Clearly, he's an idiot as well.
What? There is a lot of... From the youngsters here, if you're under 20, there's been a lot of just stupid-ass choices here.
Yeah, why would you not go for the brother that actually found you?
Found you and was really caring about you and wanting to look for you. Oh, yeah, you were just wanting to use me. Who cares?
But also, maybe there's more to the plot, dude. Maybe there's more to this.
There could be, which is why we're going to have to put it on the back burner. I'm just right now saying, go fuck yourself, Lucas.
Yeah, he's trying to be like he's so smart, and it's like, I don't know if you're like worse than Lionel or better, or... You're definitely not as cool as Lex, but...
Oh, and Lucas then gives that one more time of, I've made my own deals, came to my own conclusions. Guess what, Lex? Get out of my house.
Yeah, you change your strategy mid-play, man. It's not the move.
Sometimes you always gotta change your hand. What is this, Rounders?
Yeah, what is this, your shitty poker game you lost earlier?
Yeah, the one that you had to cheat on?
Yeah, he had to cheat.
You had to cheat. You're not even that good of a card player.
Trash, bro.
Yeah, you're not Maverick. Yeah.
And now we go to the farm. We go to the Kent house, and the parents are just chilling, just reading some newspaper.
Reading.
Lex shows up to the front door. Clark answers it. He's like, hey, Clark, sorry to bother you. And he's like, well, what's going on, Lex? Everything all right? It's like, no, it's not all right, actually. According to my father, I'm no longer Luthor. I have nothing. He took my place that I live in. So I was wondering if it'd be all right with you if I could stay with you for a while. And he looks straight at Jonathan. Because really, respect, though. He's looking straight at John to ask this question. Because he knows it's only going to be his say. And he's looking straight at him. Can I stay with you for a while? And John's like...
John is like holding his breath.
It's his worst nightmare, dude. He couldn't ask for a worse way to just cap off the night.
Only if it was Lionel and Lex at the door, but this is easily in its top 3 worst nightmares.
He's like, holy shit, dude, I had this nightmare last night.
Am I still dreaming right now?
And so, yeah, so it cuts to commercial there, and it's like, all right, well, at this point, obviously he's going to let him stay. I mean, why wouldn't he?
So, if I'm John, and this is where John, to me, is, I don't know if he's just too soft, but I think that he should have just made it a little bit more difficult, such as, you're sleeping in the barn. You could stay here, but you're not sleeping in my house. You've searched my house before. I don't trust you whatsoever on anything. Guess what, Lex? You're in the barn. Lex asked John.
He did ask.
Yes.
You're lying.
I swear to you. Lex asked him if he could help out in the morning, and Jonathan said, yes, I wasn't going to turn him down. He said that he wanted to earn his keep. Lex actually went up to Jonathan.
You're right.
Which is why Jonathan is looking out the window to start the scene, so satisfied with himself, saying, yes, I didn't want to work today. You can do it all.
But see, okay, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I like that. But, you know, that little smile actually is more so like, respect, Lex.
I don't think so.
No,
I actually think it's more of a satisfaction that I don't have to do anything today. I think that's what Jonathan is.
He doesn't have to do anything any day, Taylor. Yeah. We know this.
But this is more of an excuse. Oh, Martha, all the chores are done. I'll be watching the Sharks if you need me.
He's giving a smile because he's low-key kind of proud. Like, okay, Lex, I see you, man. I see you doing the work.
I don't think he's low-key proud. I don't think he's low-key proud at all. Disagree, man. I more feel like, if anything, this is more of like a villain type look. Where it's like, yes.
And so, of course, Martha comes down to John. It's like, hey, how'd you sleep? Like, I didn't sleep, actually. It's like, oh, is it because of our new house guests? It's like, hey, we can't turn our back on him now. And, of course, John's like, can you blame me? Blah, blah, blah.
All right, John, so you didn't sleep. You just stayed up all night. Like, what? What were you doing?
He could have been banging Martha.
Well, obviously he wasn't, because Martha asked, did you even sleep last night? So Martha apparently was sleeping like a baby. Unless you're still sticking by what you said, and then we have other things to talk about.
And so, of course,
Clark walks in, and he's like, hey, have you seen Lex? And that's where then Jonathan says, Lex.
You got him doing chores already. And yeah, what does he say? So he goes, yes. He chuckles as he says it. He's like, you're enjoying this, aren't you? He's like, oh, yeah. But like, hey, son, all kidding aside, remember he was investigating you for a year.
And what I love, too, is that Jonathan even mentions, hey, don't remember what's in that storm cellar, so make sure he stays out of it. Clark is like, oh, yeah, the storm cellar.
But I trust Lex, Dad.
Dude.
It's like, hey, literally, do not leave him alone on the farm.
His comment about, you trust him to find your spaceship. Why are you back-talking me at this point? I'm going to go get the kryptonite belt again. I swear to God.
Dude.
I'll do it in front of your mother and Lex.
Mother would probably want it.
Lex would be like, oh, he can feel pain? Oh, yeah. But Lex is now inside of the barn. He is shoveling the poop. Clark is now walking up saying, hey, I was going to come give you some pointers. Obviously, you don't need it. Lex now goes into this history of, well, in the summertime, we used to go to a ranch in Montana.
Oh.
And we used to do this type of ranch handle work.
Montana!
With them. And we used to work side by side with the employees. So, child labor.
Yes.
And my mother loved it. We used to go all the time. Well, do you still visit them? No. Because after my mother died, my dad said, let's sell the place. Because who the hell cares about anything?
Because Lionel's the biggest dick ever.
And, yeah, that Lionel is really getting to the top here. Probably all-time worst dad.
Yeah, for sure. And then even Lex, of course, is just adding in there. He's like, I kind of enjoyed going there. You know, I like pulling my weight, so just let me do. Don't help me, pretty much.
As much as you would not like to believe this, Clark, some Luthors like to pull their own.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna puke, man. Just keep shoveling this shit. I'll see you later.
And now we cut to the next scene at the mansion once again. And, yo, I don't even know if you know this video game, but...
I don't, because even when I looked it up, I had no idea.
This game is called Onimusha, bro.
What is it?
I immediately recognized it. Because, first off, my dad introduced me, Lupe. My dad introduced me to this game when I was, like, 8, maybe 10. I don't know. Very young age. And we would play. I was like, dude, this game rocks. And then they spawned 2 more sequels. And, dude, Leon the Professional, that guy?
Yeah?
He's in the 3rd one, bro.
Natalie Portman?
Natalie Portman, but that actor, he plays a character in the 3rd game, and it's him.
He was also in Godzilla 2000 with Matthew Broderick.
That's right, he was.
Yeah, he was the French guy.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oui.
But yeah, this is Onimusha, man. It's just basically a Demon Slayer type game. And his name is Samanosuke.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been playing this. I would have been playing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles Trapped in Time. Like, I would have been, like, doing that.
This isn't the arcade, bro.
What do you mean?
This is the first of our gaming system. This is PlayStation 1 days, bro.
Dude, I think you're just, like, really... Come on. IDW is owned by DC, so this counts as talk.
Whatever,
TMNT
man.
is owned by DC Comics.
Whatever, dude. But get this, right? So he's playing this game. He changed up the office already. And Lionel walks in, bumps into the TV. It's like, what's up with that, what's up with this, yeah, you agreed to share shares with me.
Well, he's blaring the metal music, because that's what you do in this office.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
playing his video games, and Lionel's like, hey, can you turn it down? I can't hear anything.
I want to talk to you, son.
I need you to be able to sign this contract. We had a deal. You're supposed to be able to live up to your own.
And then he even goes into a whole little rant. So what's wrong with this, Lionel? I tricked Lex, and then you tricked me, and then it's like, you know, just
you
like...
offer me $10 million, and you think that's enough?
And that's going to be like, just keep on the hush-hush, that's like type of thing. And of course he even goes, well, it's better than your card scams.
Well, you know what, Dad? The deal is that I've now looked up with your finances
What a
that
Luthor goes for these days.
I'm worth about 5 times what you're offering me here, and that's what you report to the government, not in your underground business deals.
Oh. So, smart 18-year-old.
Oh, yeah, because he grew up on the streets, right? That's what
Yeah.
we have to say.
Yeah, and of course he gets to the point where it's like, why didn't you try and find me before I was 12?
This is where Lucas now reverses it, because this is what we believed he was going to do with Lex, but it seemed Lucas has his own game here, which is called I'm a solo player.
That's right.
There is no multiplayer going on. And so he is then telling him, guess what? Why wouldn't you be searching for him? Well, guess what? Lucas, I was doing it out of your best interest. I was doing it to help you with a checkbook and an arm's length. Sounds about right coming from you.
Oh.
Lucas then decides to just go over and shoot one ball at the pool. Why does he
And
do
he
this?
stopped.
Why did he stop?
He broke the pool table, and then that was
breaks
like,
the rack,
yeah,
and
he
then
breaks
he
the
doesn't
rack, and
finish
then he
it.
just puts it down. He's done.
He's like, I suck.
Where's Lex? I thought he'd teach me.
I thought I had a brother. Now I just have a blind man. Oh, or so we think.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
now
So
we're
yeah,
getting
so
into the
basically,
signatures.
yeah. So now Lionel wants him to sign the agreement so that they can obviously do Lionel's plan, and then Lucas is pretty hesitant on it. So he's like, all right, whatever. So he goes and signs. But what does he write? Bite me, right?
He writes by me, but he's also staring at Lionel
He
each
writes
time
bite
'cause
me
he's
and
waiting.
he stares at Lionel,
Look at
and he
his face.
sees that
Oh my
Lionel has a
God.
reaction. So what? We're already getting hints. Why do you react like that? That means you can see?
I already knew he could see. I've known from the very start that this man was never blind.
Hey, man.
He was never blind.
No, he was blind.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was never, ever blind.
It wasn't just a few weeks ago that he was blind, Taylor.
No. He was never, ever blind.
No, he was
I'm going to
blind.
state this right now. Unless you can show me a scene that proves that he's blind, I'm going to tell you right now.
Dude, give me those first, 2 episodes
he
that he was
bribed the
blind.
doctors.
Oh, he bribed the doctors.
There you go. What do you got for me now? You're trying to tell me Lionel wouldn't bribe the doctors to tell everybody that he's blind? You're trying to tell me that doesn't sound like
I think
Lionel
he actually came
Luthor?
back at some point.
You're out of your effing mind.
Nah. And so Lucas notices that, obviously, that facial expression. And he's like, yeah, you might want to have your lawyers look over that just to make sure it all looks good. He's like, yeah, no, I trust, like,
You can't even keep it together
Poker
right now.
face is terrible.
It's awful. I trust you. And then walks away.
And then Lucas does this, grabs the 8-ball. He's like, "Hey, Dad," and he just chunks it at him straight to the head.
He doesn't even say catch, by the way.
Yeah, nothing. Lionel immediately ducks. And he's like, "Why would you do that? You know that would have hurt me."
Why does he still try to play the blind?
Yeah,
back?
exactly. It's like, okay, so
he's still looking away right now.
He's still looking away, and it's like, you saw that coming. You knew that was coming.
Lionel, what are you faking?
And
right
so
now?
this is where he points out, when a blind man pours a drink, he has his fingers inside the cup so he can measure the depth of
when it's at the tip of the glass.
The tip. And then, of course, your facial expression when I signed couldn't be more obvious. So you just ducked that. And so
3 for 3.
Let's see. Now you just couldn't hide
Why
your
does he
reaction.
do this?
Takes his glasses off.
Why does
And
he
and of course he's trying to play it off still, but then now he makes full eye contact with Lucas.
What do you want, Lucas? Oh, Lex is in the past. I'm the future. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, I thought you were wanting the company. He asked what you wanted, and then you just said Lex is in the past. I'm the future. Does that mean let's kill Lex? Does that mean you want the business? Because we already kicked out Lex. Like, what does that mean? I need you to tell me.
Just, he knows Lex sucks.
Doesn't mean anything. Lucas sucks.
All the Luthors suck, man.
Yeah,
except Lex.
No, yeah, Lex. Well, there are scenes that he does. Lionel is satisfied because he's like, yeah, I love it when my sons get at me.
Back to the Talon.
Oh my God.
Back to the Talon.
Here comes Dopey.
Here comes Dopey coming in. Hey, Lon, I got your message. What's up? And he's like, yeah, well, I just want to tell you that we filled the position. He's like, well...
You didn't have to call me and tell me.
You didn't have to call me and consult me about that. It's like, well, you got the job. Congratulations. So,
what, really? How? Because of your glowing recommendation from the editor of The Torch. Oh, are you sure about this? Hey, Clark, why did you ask for a job if then you're going to question me when I give you the job?
Hey, man, he's an idiot.
He is just really making me mad this episode.
And, of course, Lana brings up the point, Lex took a chance on me, so why not you? So, let's do this thing. When can you start?
Don't
you think you should check with the boss first? Oh, here comes Lucas cocksucking Lionel or Luthor.
By the way, why would he say this in order to introduce himself to Lana? This is what a 15-year-old would do, aka Clark, if Clark was bad, which is why it makes me so mad as well, is he comes in and just saying, you should know who I am.
I'm Lucas. I'm Lex's brother. Yeah, you don't know about me. Wasn't exactly on the Christmas card, but hey, Lex is out the picture, so I'm the new boss now.
I'm gonna be around a lot more. You know what?
It's like, well, hey, you're not my boss. We're partners, idiot.
Well, guess what? I didn't know that. So now I'm gonna have to go look at that partner agreement that you just mentioned to me because I didn't even know that existed.
And then of course he's like, well, even better that we're partners. What does that mean?
I don't know because she's 15.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't mean anything.
Well, 15, 18, like, that might be different for them.
What?
Like, as far as age gap, it's not like, 18.
If I graduated high school, I'm not dating a sophomore in high school, dude.
Hey, dude, some people do that.
Who?
Dude, I knew some people.
Whitney? Is that their name? Their name's Whitney?
No, that's even worse. That's a senior on his way to college dating eighth grader.
I think that's better.
8th grader with the junior.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound right. Even whenever you're saying it out loud, it's just the thought of it. You're like one thing, but then whenever you state it, you're like, oh, that's a lot worse than I thought it could ever be.
And so with that whole Lucas barged in
I hated
argument
that, by the
thing,
way.
it's terrible. And of course, Clark does point out, like, yeah, actually, Lionel kicked Lex out. He's staying with us right now.
Why does Lana, and this is what I hate about Lana, why does she act so weak in that scene? You just need to, you're a boss lady now.
Boss lady.
You need to be like, even if you're that age, like, you've been working at the town for this long, this is your baby. You're the one that stuck up for this. So why don't you tell him off being like, listen, go read our deal. Until you actually do some research about this business, I'm not going to talk to you,
Yeah,
dumbass.
Can you even read, Street Boy?
Yeah, nice leather jacket, Fonzie.
Yeah, douche.
Yeah, nice slick back hair. It's not even blonde like it should be,
I like
Lucas.
my Luthor's bald.
Oh my God. That would have been awesome.
You're just
she
a
said
downgrade, Lucas.
That would have been awesome if she said that.
So we go to the torch.
Hold on.
We get the torch.
Lucas' hair should be red.
Yes, I know. I thought you got my whole thing where it's like Lionel's hair is brown, and then we have Rachel Dunleavy red hair.
Well, and Lex was red. So, dude.
Well, no, Lex shouldn't have been red.
No, Lex should have been red.
No, I'm telling you right now,
No,
his
no.
hair should have never been
By the
red.
way, I do have to. This one, I'm also glad we kind of paused it. I have to correct myself. So I said his first appearance ball was Superman 4. I was wrong. That's actually Lex Luthor's first ever appearance. His first bald appearance is Superman 10.
Oh.
So I had
and that's a misprint, right? Or the miscoloration or something like that?
Yeah, where it was then messed up in order to have him bald. So then they just stuck with it. And they also made him fatter. And they made him just nastier. But yes, I got that mixed up there. But I was kind of on the same boat.
Yeah, sure.
Just on different. Just had to hop over.
And, oh, man, I just love this scene right here.
Well, Clark then walks into the torch where he is bringing Chloe her coffee. She says, hey, I didn't know that you were doing deliveries. Well, that I do whenever you give me a raising recommendation for a job. And he wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, so, get some personnel changes there at the Talon. He's like, oh, you talking about Lucas Luthor? How does she know that? And
she even states, the prodigal son returns. How could anybody miss a story such as that? Also, and I will give her this credit, she did already know that they kicked Lex out of the mansion. So that would have been kind of news where
it's like, oh, why?
Luthor family disowns Lex. That would have been a report. And then her saying Lucas then would have been the front page.
This is the thing, man. Why is this a story in the high school paper?
It's been 8 years. This is her baby where she has to actually...
The Luthors didn't even go to Smallville High.
Hold on. But they're in the town. She's not doing the paper for the high school. She's doing the paper for the town.
The torch is the high school, bro.
It's for the whole town,
You're ridiculous.
It's only...
That's the Smallville Ledger.
No.
You're an idiot.
Doesn't just
there's a separate newspaper for...
I do know there is, but it doesn't mean that she's not competing with it.
It's idiotic for
her
to do
There
that.
is two papers competing against each other.
I'm sorry, this is not a competition.
Yes, it is.
No.
You know why it's not? Because the torch is winning.
Let me tell you right now who's reading those torch articles.
Lex?
Well, you got a point there, actually, which is weird. Anyways, God, whatever.
Yes!
Good one. Good one. So basically, why would I not write about this story? It's like front page of Daily Planet. It's like, hey, you're not a senior. You're not going to the Daily Planet, idiot.
Well, you know what, Chloe? I don't trust him. Does Clark have any reason not to trust Lucas right now?
He tried to hurt him on the court.
That was a pickup game of basketball.
He tried to hurt him.
Okay, again, half my size, a little guy trying to elbow me is not something I'm then going to say. You know what? He was trying to really, hurt me bad.
Dude, honestly, I'm going to be on Lex's side here. I'm going to be, of course, if you're hating your brother, I hate your brother too, bro.
Okay, fair point, because obviously they probably had barn talks at this point.
Yeah, what the hell?
I give you that entirely.
They're best friends.
Chloe does say, though, let's give him a break. He's jumped foster home to foster home, and he's had a rough
Where'd you find
life.
your source?
Well, he goes, what's weird? Has there been anything come up with weird? Because that's what Clark always has to look for. Mm-hmm. And Chloe says, actually, yeah, the source. And this is
because she knows Metropolis United Charities, and of course, if we know this adoption center, that's the one that Clark was adopted from, the only child adopted from, and it was also brought up in lineage.
Or so we thought so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now it's actually legitimately two children that were adopted from there, Lucas and then Clark. But
Lucas wasn't adopted. But Lucas was there.
Oh, that's right. Lucas was there, but not adopted. He was in the records.
Yes.
But then again, this also, Lex points out the fact, because Clark goes and shows Lex this document. And he's like, and yeah, this actually didn't even exist until a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago is what they say. And that's how Lex even states, I didn't even ask where my detectives got the information whenever they told him they found him. So he was just starstruck.
So now he's figuring out that this has all been just a chess game, because Lionel has been setting this up the whole time. He wanted me to find Lucas, and he wanted me to just do this whole thing. So now Lionel's using him against him.
And Lex has figured it out that Lionel was once again a step ahead of him, and he was always having communication with Lucas.
And as Lex is walking out, Clark is still trying to figure out what Lex was talking about.
Clark still has no idea what's going on. He's like, I think I have a plan.
It's like, I think I know what to do. But first,
Do I have work today? No. It's tomorrow.
Was Lex just here? Lex, you still here? Silly me.
Just the cow.
Oh, man, the rooster.
Okay. So, Lucas, now we are cutting to the
We got
next...
the Bowflex equipment in here already.
I was going to say, this is so terrible, where we are cutting into the Luthor mansion, where Lucas has made the Lex office into a personal gym. He's not even that big, for God's sakes, and yet he has about 5 different pieces of equipment, a gigantic TV, and then 2 light stands that I'm not sure if anybody would ever have those. Are those for bugs?
To be honest, bro, I think those are speakers.
What?
I think those are speakers, bro.
Okay, well,
Straight
now
up.
I want those.
Yeah, no. That's what,
I was
yeah.
gonna say,
if they're
now I want
speakers, I'd
those.
want it. I'm not even going to lie, bro. Lucas's setup of the office, low-key kind of cool.
No, I don't like the gym setup.
No, that can go away.
Yeah, okay. Everything else, I'm with you.
Your office should just be
Your
everything
office.
there without the
Your
gym setup.
should be your office.
No, gym office. Office gym.
No, it shouldn't be there.
But honestly, I love the setup. And yeah, the treadmill, the workout equipment can all go. Everything else is great. If anything, put a desk back there.
Look how many pieces of equipment he has.
He has literally like a corner of the office is the gym, and it's next to all the antiques.
Yeah, none of that.
Lucas is a
valuable.
moron.
He was definitely.
That's
not
an 18-year-old for sure.
He was not the history nerd like the others.
No,
he did
not at
not
all.
get the teachings of Alexander.
And of course, Lex is here, and he's like, "Oh man, I bet you feel pretty good about yourself. Doing all this. You look great. Yeah, good abs.
I gotta admit, you and
You have your hair. That's cool.
and big eyebrows.
Yeah, bushy eyebrows, man. You got a lot of hair on your body.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
I can't even grow a mustache.
But I see that you and my father have been playing me all along here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little impressed by what you've been doing.
Well, duh, Lex. I'm the son he wants.
Careful, Lucas. You're showing your hand.
Yeah, showing his butthole pretty much.
That's Lex is okay. Lucas is so dumb because he has no idea.
Yeah, and Lex has literally been trying to warn him. He's like, "Do you really? Are you trying to win his love? Do you really think you can trust him? Look, you have no idea. You have no idea."
He's laughing at
You
his
have no
face.
idea. Yeah, he's
And
literally
Lucas
laughing. Like it's
believes-
disturbing almost because it's like, dude, you really have no clue.
And Lucas believes that he's still weak. He's like, get out of my office.
I play these games with Lionel for breakfast, bro. You don't get it.
What I love is that Lucas even mentions about, I know who you've been staying with. You and your friend Clark Kent have been bundled up together. It's interesting because no matter what, Lucas is now showing his jealousy towards Clark Kent, the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Is this still... I thought you did not love Lex, or do you? Are you... Whose approval are you trying to earn? Is it both?
Lucas just wants all types of approval here. He wants them all.
You know what, though? Let's be careful. Because the Luthor gene pool has just been chummed with the waters for blood. Oh. And Lionel has just let it all out.
Lex is talking dirty, bro.
So I hope you're ready to go at it.
And even, yeah, Lucas really has just no clue here, man. And Lex even walks out, he's like, hey, good luck, bro.
And Lucas is, wait, did I screw up? Wait.
Yeah, he has
I
a
don't
face,
know if
he's
this
like-
was a good idea after all. Let me go take it out on Lana.
Okay, so we have going back to the talent now. And I got a nice question for this scene.
What you got?
So, well, first, we have Lucas showing up automatically there. Hey, where's Clark, Lana? And Lana's like, hey, good question. He's late.
Extremely busy, too.
Yeah, extremely busy
Yeah.
as well. Last time we saw Clark, Lex left the barn,
Yeah.
right? Was he not smoking the fattest blunts or joints? Because why is he late? Because back to your question when I was doing my little segment there, you said, do I have work today? That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. He got high and he was like, I have work today. No!
I mean...
And he looks like he was jogging over there. He didn't even use his super speed.
Not at all.
How are you late with super speed, bro?
Because what Jonathan has taught you is that if work needs to be done, you always take your time. You never want to rush in order to get that
He's
work.
like, sorry, I'm late. And he didn't even give a reason. But of course, Lana was like, I don't care. Just do your work. Go ahead.
Hey, Lucas then turns around. Lana, he's in half an hour late. You need to fire him. Lana, I'm not going to fire him. Here's the thing. I'm on Lucas's side because it's his first day.
First day, showing favoritism. Also, how does he know it's table 3 over there? Did he get training?
He probably knows because he studied all the tables for how much he loves Lana. I know all the tables. I know it all.
I can do it. I swear I'll do a good job. But yeah,
I just won't be on time.
Lucas says, "Fire him." What the hell? And then Clark's even like, "What the hell?
Fire me?
For what?
For being late." Okay, how high are you?
Wait, what? Wait, fire? But yeah, no.
Wait, did somebody say they got fired?
They got the fuego?
What is
like,
this
I'm not gonna
episode, man?
He's high out of his ass, dude.
Oh my god.
He's got some good eye drops. But yeah, so Lucas is like, "Oh, you're not gonna fire him? Well, Lex's history and so is this place.
I'm
so
gonna
good job."
fire both of you, and she goes, "You can't do that. Look into our agreement."
It's like that 40-year-old virgin scene where Kevin Hart comes in. He's like, "Both y'all motherfuckers getting clapped up when I
This
get
your
back."
boy? It's smart.
Both of y'all. And so yeah, so basically,
Clark runs out after Lucas after he says he's gonna shut down the
Hey,
place.
"You can fire me, bro. Just leave Lana alone." And he's
Lana
like,
doesn't deserve this.
Too late, Clark. Too late.
Fast and Furious then comes up.
Fast and Furious then comes up because we got the Uzi bike man. And is this not the waiter?
Is it the waiter?
That's the waiter, bro.
No way.
That's the waiter.
So wait, the waiter? Why would the waiter then get back at him? Unless the deal was that we would forgive the waiter if he then got us Lucas. Made a deal with the triad.
Could be that.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe someone just put him up to the scheme.
Ooh, or it could have been a John
Because
Wick
obviously
scenario.
he's only in here for a paycheck.
That's true.
Yeah. And so he goes after Lucas in the alleyway behind the Talon.
Just gonna
immediately
say-
starts just blasting the Uzi.
If I'm Clark, if he dies, then it actually helps everybody. So
Yeah, I was never back here.
I was never here. I don't know what happened.
Why is Clark smacking the shit out of everything in this scene? So it's in slow-mo because Clark's going super speed. He went up to the bike man first as he's mid-ride. He absolutely smacked. I'm
launches him.
sorry. He broke all his ribs.
Yeah,
he
no,
broke
no.
all his ribs with that smack. He's flying not only over the fence, but maybe over the block. And then, of course, as he's
just gone on.
yeah, dude, he's gone, bro. You home run. Good job, Clark.
Look at him in the air.
In the air? Yeah, he's going over the fence, dude.
He's so...
He's going over the fence at least. There's no way. And then he goes up to the bullets as he's running past them and smacking the shit out of them. I'm sorry. If you're smacking them that hard, they're going to go just as fast the other way and probably kill someone.
Yeah, easily. And it looks like that Clark may be late on this last bullet. Somehow he was able to make this. Other times he was not able to. But what would happen is that he then dives on Lucas's back. He has bullet holes, Clark does,
Steaming.
in his jean jacket where they would have been really obvious for Lucas to then see. It would have obviously been impossible for Clark to get there in time, a.k.a. he just revealed his powers.
You know, yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yes!
Because Lucas knew what it's about to be.
Yeah, so no, Lucas had to have known.
He had to have known. And then, you know what my thing is with movies and even shows? Like, there is never that much smoke, steam in an alleyway. I don't care where it's coming from. That shit comes out of like vents in the ceiling or the roof, whatever. They always show it coming out of the sewers, the side of the buildings. You see that shit? It's so stupid.
No, dude, it's like... Alright, so I feel like more than anything, the only time that I think that it is possible is like New York. That's the only time that I could see that it's actually happening is maybe during like the cold season. You can then see the vent, maybe like the warm air coming out at 3 a.m. with the lights dim in the alley, possibly. Everything has to be perfect in this one spot. In Smallville, you can go to hell. That's never happening in Smallville. That's never going to be the case.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah,
looks like an
no.
Are You Afraid of the Dark type thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Ah, man, I love that show.
Yeah. You seem like
You want to
really
tell
do.
some campfire stories?
Sure.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid of Clark?
Okay.
Are you afraid of Clark?
I am way... He's really bad in this episode.
Yeah.
With his choices where it seems like this is definitely a Luthor episode, you could say, of more of them playing their own game.
I guess his brain's not getting enough sun today.
I don't know what it is, but Clark is certainly not in the game. Of what he said to Pete, he is not on the court. He's
not on
nowhere
the court.
near the
No,
court.
he's in the locker room.
Yeah, he's supposed to be on the court. He's on, like, the football field. He's playing an entirely different sport this game.
For sure. And so, back to the mansion. We go back to the mansion. Lucas comes in, and Lionel's like, hey, heard about last night. This looks like someone was trying to kill you, huh?
And it didn't hurt that Clark Kent was there. Haha.
I don't know how he reacted so quickly.
Well,
Lionel's like, well, Clark is a very special young man.
and that's all we're going to talk about this, so let's change the subject.
So
What?
Lionel knows.
Yeah, okay, Lionel does know all about Clark, but my other issue with that is, if I'm Lucas, I'm going to probably be asking a little bit more questions than that.
Yeah, well, we're Lucas and we're idiots, so.
Well, guess what? His name's Dirk, Dad.
I did some business back with him in Ed City. It's the waiter.
Good call on that. I didn't actually even pick up on that. But what it does show is that Lionel is now wanting to kind of take Lucas underneath his wing. It does seem like that in a way, somebody attacking Lucas has then earned Lionel respect, but Lucas isn't buying it. Lucas is then now turning it around to Lionel saying, it's weird that you're telling me not to trust Lex because he said the same thing about you.
Because you wanted me out of the picture.
Where you're now having two people pulling on each of his arms, and he's having to make a choice on which side he's going to choose. Lucas is now even connecting the dots, telling Lionel, you even try to buy me off. What's the sudden change of heart of you now wanting us to be the father and son duo?
Yeah.
You know why? It's because you showed me your strength, son. You showed me when you told Lex to go fuck himself, I knew that you were the son I've always wanted.
I'm so horny for you right now.
You have hair.
You have hair.
You've thrown
Look
down
how
the gauntlet,
They're way
Lucas.
too close to each other.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm not talking to my son this close, okay?
You have really beautiful eyebrows.
Not when he's 18. Hey, son.
You look good.
Chloe,
Back to the Talon.
This is only 3 shots. Back to the Talon, where Chloe now is running up to Clark, being like, hey,
Dirk Lee found out who that bike guy was.
I was able to track him down, able to find out who he was, and they arrested him in Metropolis. Clark says, oh, that's great. Chloe then says, not really, because he kind of died. What do you mean?
In the middle of a police station.
Somebody has to have some serious connections in order to be able to cover for something like that.
My goodness.
What does Clark then do?
It's like, who do you think who could do that? And he's like, oh, you got to cover me. You got to cover for me, Chloe. Hands her the tray with the drinks on it and just runs out in front of Lana.
Why did you ask for this job?
Clark, are you high again?
No, I don't think he's high. That's the problem.
No. I think he is.
Not that scene.
Because he was zoned out working high as shit. He was just like, oh, hey, Chloe. Yeah, I was totally focused just now. What's up? It's like, yeah, blah, 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 license plate, blah, blah, blah. Who could do this in the middle of a police station? Oh, my God. You're so right. I'm out of here. That's high.
I don't even know where he's going right now.
He's going to go be late to his job.
Okay. Like, I don't even know where he's actually heading off to besides maybe Metropolis or to the Luthor mansion. He's bothering me.
Now, we come to a very nice scene.
Oh, we do. And guess what? If I'm Jonathan, I'll probably never talk to a Luthor ever again after this scene.
Dude, did I not tell you? Anytime Lex has actually managed to get on John's soft side, it always gets messed up because of shit having to do with him.
This may be the worst, timing on planet Earth. And if I'm Lex, I'm, angry for so many different reasons now.
It doesn't even make sense.
Oh, what doesn't make sense is that this is also the last scene that we see Jonathan and that he's ever
Yes,
mentioned.
we do.
Yeah.
This is another Pete situation.
This is.
So Lex comes to the barn. John is working on whatever he's working on. And of course, Lex is like, hey, man, appreciate you letting me stay here. And, I did all the stuff you needed. And John even goes, you're welcome back anytime, Lex. How about that?
That's nice of you to say. I wasn't expecting that.
And he's like, look, I gave you literally every single crappy job on the farm. You did them all. Not a complaint. Not even once. You would have made a great farmer, man.
Well.
And then Lex's just cute little chuckle and smile, and that man's just really giddy about what he said.
And then here comes Lucas hitting him in the back.
And then he's like, sure thing, Lex. Yep. She gives him a handshake, gets hit in the gun on the back of his head.
John now is completely knocked out, where John, whenever he wakes up, is never going to allow Luthor to stay in his house ever again.
I wouldn't.
So, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't.
All that handshake, everything he just said to Lex, out the door.
Notice the way that Lucas holds his gun really sideways, like he's from the streets.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Hey, Lex, guess what?
Okay.
Who is that?
We
Who
are
is that?
now
Now we're back at the mansion.
And Lionel is just taking a nap with his eyes open, where Clark then...
He's like, who is that? Is that Clark? And Clark even kind of looks a little suspicious here. He's like...
A blind man would never be laying like that.
Maybe.
It would never be like, oh, what's going on, huh? No, that was so weird, as if it seemed like that you were just, like, dozing off. No, that was not blind person acting at all. But Clark is questioning it. Lionel is then saying, oh, Clark, what are you doing here? I was thinking that maybe you would have known something about a guy named Dirk being murdered in a police station, because you know you are a rich man. You seem to have those type of connections.
It's like, that's unfortunate. But it happens, you know? It's just awfully convenient, isn't it, Lionel? Kind of like how Lex found Lucas.
I think you've inherited your father's paranoia. By the way, Clark, what is your mother wearing right now?
Cocksucker comment number 1. We're talking about your family, Lionel, not mine.
This is
like,
where then
well,
the
guess
cell
what?
phone rings.
Well, guess what? I have a phone call. So good night. Get the hell out of my house, 15-year-old. Oh, and give Martha my regards. Cocksucker comment number 2.
I wish you would have actually said something like even more harsh about Martha.
I hate him so much.
Maybe, hey, tell Martha to wear that new dress I bought her.
I would literally, like, if I was the villain, I'd be snapping necks right now.
What? If you were saying like you were Clark.
Like, if I was about to walk out and he goes, because Clark already knows the history with that, but it's like Lionel saying, yeah, give Martha my regards. I would turn around, snap his neck.
Clark does leave, though, so is what we think.
He's right outside the door.
Lionel's phone call is actually Lucas telling him, I'm in your office with Lex. You need to get your ass down here right now or bad things are going to happen.
That's right.
And you know what Lionel says? Don't do anything rash. I'm on my way.
In the helicopter. And so Clark just assumes that it's going to be going to Metropolis. So
look how he just even opened the door, and yet he still has the glasses on.
Yes, he tries to still play it.
Yes.
And so we, of course, are in the office. Lucas is in the chair, and now we have Lex tied up.
He's like, Dad, this is what you've always wanted with your little Cain and Abel scenario.
Yeah. And then Lucas gets up, sideways gun again, holds it up. I'm from the streets.
Put the gun down, Lucas. Dad, how did you know he had a gun? And this is where Lex now found out the truth.
He's like, how do you know he has a gun?
And Lucas is even smiling at Lionel, being like, haha, you gotta tell him now.
And then soon as Lionel takes off the glasses and looks at Lex, Lex is furious. He's like, you twisted son of a bitch. What the hell?
No joke here. If I'm Lex, I'm murdering him.
Yeah.
Like, you better hope Lucas actually does kill me, because if I get out of this chair, I'm not even going to lie, I hope they find out, I'm going to murder you. I will let the whole world know I'm going to murder you.
He's like, hey, guess what? You want to know why I murdered him? He played games with me since I was losing my hair. And
Lex would get 3 years in prison.
Probably.
He would get 3 to 5 years at the most, but he could get away. If he went through his whole childhood, everything that Lionel has done to him, for this season alone, he sent a woman that he had sex with to have sex with me. What?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, because maybe even less, bro, because if he explains, like, my father showed me he wasn't blind, and if you look at his stuff, or his oculars, that obviously he was seeing. But, so, of course, Lucas here, he's like, no, I'm not going to kill him, don't worry. It's going to be you, man. You're going to kill Lex.
You're going to kill your own son, which, in a way, is Lionel's worst fear. And this is what I want to dive into here with you. So, this to me is Lionel's worst fear. Why? Because he's the one that has to pull the trigger. The games he plays with his family, it's like, sure, if somebody happens to kill you, oh well. If you end up escaping, it's because you have the blood of a Luthor.
Yeah.
It's a really sick in the fucking head game, because he won't do it himself, where, no, that's crossing the line.
Yeah,
I would never shoot my own son.
Why would I touch my son like that?
What?
But hey, I'll hire this dude to do it.
That guy can shoot you.
He can try. I'll pay him. I'll pay him for his troubles.
Like,
and if they die, he just gets his money back.
Lucas, don't pull the trigger. Please don't kill Lex.
No, not Lex.
Lucas hands him the gun. Dude, what are you doing? What? Stop. I'm not going to kill Lex. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Do you see the difference in how he reacts?
It's like, I'm not going to kill him. Why would I do that? I would never do that. I am Lionel Luthor. I wouldn't kill a Luthor.
I'm not going to lie to you. Lionel is probably the craziest game player I've ever seen. He plays his own version of Hunger Games.
No, he is literally a genius psychopath.
Wait, you calling him a genius still?
Are you serious?
I'm not calling him a genius still.
Bro, he's the ultimate schemer, bro.
No, he hasn't got me on that. If he steals Martha away from John, fine. Going back to the scene, though, we have now Lionel being like, listen, Lucas, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this at all.
He's like, what do you expect me to do here? And Lex is like, oh, isn't it obvious? Lucas wants his inheritance, just him.
You know what?
Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, Lionel.
And here comes Clark. Clark is now running down the hall, which I also have another question to you. Hey, he has powers. Couldn't he just run in there?
He sure can. He can just run in there. No one would see him.
Nobody would see him, right? I just want to make sure that we made him that fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
He can catch bullets.
He also knows where Lionel's office is. Oh, he can also probably throw a rock.
He also uses X-ray vision to see where they're at.
Gotcha. So Clark then sees the X-ray vision, sees what's going on in the office. He's like, oh no.
What do I do?
Think of a plan. A ventilation system.
Oh my god.
I know what I'm going to do now. Nothing. I'm going to go watch.
You know how heavy he'd be?
Again, that's why I wanted to also say he's 6'3". He
You know
weighs
how
a
heavy
buck 80.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Dude. And so, look. And of course...
Well, okay.
This
is amazing.
This is good.
This is amazing,
good.
yes.
I'm not going to lie to you. This is very good. So come to find out, because Lex is over here, it's like, dude, you're a social experiment, man. Why do you think you're so lucky? You always got out of jail when you were younger?
Every single situation that he ended up in, whether it was prison, whether it was like
why you never
like
were
hurt.
adopted? You're always bailed last minute out of jail whenever you got in trouble. It's like, don't tell me you were just lucky. And even Lionel's looking at him like smiling, almost like, I'm your dad. I would take care of you always.
He wanted a test to raise which son would be tougher, whether it would be with nothing and having to grow up on the streets, or whether it would be with having all the money in the world. He truly wanted to see which son would be better off.
Yes.
Like, who would be his best number 2.
This is why it's genius.
I don't know if that's genius.
It's sick genius.
That's not sick genius, because there's no way in hell that the street person would ever work out well.
Dude.
What situation is the street person going to end up being okay?
And he even reveals that Dirk, the Asian dude, was on his payroll. The whole thing was set up from the get-go to get him to start doing schemes, be based in Ed City, things like that.
Yeah.
Lionel's the worst.
Yeah. So whatever group hired Lucas, whatever card games Lucas was a part of, only happened because Lionel made it happen.
Yeah. And of course, Lucas is buying is like, dude, what the hell? Is it true? Is that what you did to me? You're using me?
We have a lot to talk about, son. What?
Yeah, and Lex is even like, I'm sorry I tried to use you too, but look, we're just a social experiment. You're not going to gain his love, I promise.
Well, what I love is that Luke is like, no, Lex, for once I want blood on his hands. I want him to do it, because it's like what we said. Lionel's always willing to pay somebody to do the dirty work for him. He's never willing to do the dirty work himself.
True.
Lucas is now saying, this is your time.
Yep.
This is your moment. Do it to it, father.
Mm-hmm. And of course, like, I can't do it. Well, that's just too bad, because you're going to. And now he's about to shoot Lionel. But of course, Clark is in the ventilation system right above Lucas. Heat raises his hand, so he drops a gun. Lionel smacks Lucas, immediately shoots him on the ground, bro.
That's not his son.
Immediately shoots him. It's
not
like,
his
you
son.
caused me a lot of trouble. I'm going to shoot you right away. But guess what? He shoots Lucas. Why is Lucas still alive? Oh, the gun was filled with blanks.
Well, that would mean that Lex is really not tied up. Lex is even smiling.
Yeah, he's laughing, and he's like, holy shit. He actually tried to kill him.
This just reminds me of, like, the Arrested Development of, like, having to learn your lesson and Buster shooting off his hand, and it's like, that's why you don't play with whatever. But
it's that one dude who always loses his arm or whatever.
But it's also, this is sick in the head game from the sun.
This is sick on both ends, bro.
What is going on? And this is supposed to be like some, we won together, brother. High five. You guys are just as awful.
The thing is... Okay, we're going to talk about this. Because obviously there was a scheme. They planned their own time to do this and whatnot. And so that's that. And him and Lex and Lucas walk out together just high and mighty.
Yeah, we're out of here.
And then Lionel's even like, what the hell? What a play. He's just so struck. But then he sees that melted steel or metal is coming down from the ceiling.
He would have never known. That was Clark.
Yeah.
He would have never thought. In all honesty, when it's coming...
because he's purely curious right now. Like, what the hell is that? What does that mean?
When it's coming from the ventilation system, anywhere else, fine. But when it's a ventilation system where I think, like, maybe, like, overheating, stupid as it may sound, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to look into this. He's having the look of, oh, this is something.
Well, what he could do is look up camera footage of the building and see who was there at the same time that was happening.
Yeah, but nobody does that because otherwise everyone would know Clark has powers.
True.
There's no video cameras here.
Hey, guess where we go back to?
The
Talon.
Wait. Is it Clark's job that he thinks that he is going to still arrive at? I'm so confused by even him showing up in this scene saying, oh, well, I guess this is the end of it, huh?
Yeah, Lana's like, hey, unnecessary. You don't need to apologize. It's all good. And, of course, Clark's like, you're not mad? And she's like, you just make it really hard for me to be mad at you. Why is that?
Well, this is going to be the shortest career in the coffee history. Haha, you don't remember my one day at the
shortest.
Beanery.
I got fired in one day at the Beanery. R.I.P. the Beanery.
So, Clark is completely wrong still. And this is why.
We don't need to go over that. We know why he's wrong.
He should honestly just leave at this point and stop trying to make something happen, because even Lana's reaction of, I know that our relationship is always just going to stay the same.
Yeah, how are things ever going to change between us, Clark? Like,
and
ouch,
Clark,
number 2, baby.
Clark just looks there like blank stare. He's like, and it's very true. We've been through this, Clark. If you're not going to be honest with Lana, then guess what? You're never going to win her. But also, if you're going to show up the next day after breaking her heart to apply for a job and act like everything is okie dokie, no.
No, that's pretty good, man.
No.
And so she's locking up the Talon. We finally go back once again to the mansion.
What? Where?
For our final time. And of course, it's getting cleaned out. Lex is having his office back. But what does he say? Leave that TV. That can stay. And I actually do love that because the TV does say he uses it for news and whatnot.
By the way, that the moment I saw that TV, like, yeah, I'd be having that.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was ever thought of to begin with.
I'm surprised he didn't even keep the couch too, but whatever. And so, of course, Lex is like, "Oh, read your nice piece in the article, Dad, of the Daily Planet. Oh, Luthor regained sight.
Nice piece of fiction you got here. So why don't you tell me, how long have you had your sight?"
But he even tells him, like, your stock went up too. And he's like, and Lionel just laughs. I know. And so, yeah, how long have you had your sight? And he said, a few weeks.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. I don't believe a word that you just said there.
But he was like, I was able to see more clearly than ever. You'd be surprised at things people try to get away with when you're blind.
Maybe it's because you're such a piece of shit that every deal you try to make screws over somebody, so then they try to get back at you. So what you did in your own sick and twisted way is that you faked a disability.
Yep.
In order for you to then say, ha, guess what? All those people suck. I'm the real hero, always showing that people have the darkness in them. What, dude? You are the special sociopath. You are numero uno. You saying, look at what people try to get away with. You have gotten away with every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm tired of it. Lex, take it out. Do it. Take him out. But yes, what's great, though, is that Lionel still goes to Lex. Hey, Lex, it's been a fun game and everything, so I'm going to give you back LexCorp. No strings attached. Don't worry. You don't have to try to get Lucas. You don't have to do anything.
You know, I always wanted to keep between the family. But, of course, Lex claps back. She's like, all right, fine. But Lucas is under my protection. Oh, why?
I don't know why either. I really have no clue. I can't answer that.
I thought we'd be done. Just send him back to the streets. He'll be fine.
Do you remember the fabled tale of the scorpion and the frog?
Yeah. The frog helped out the scorpion, but the scorpion stung the frog at the end.
And the frog asked, why would you do that to me?
It's in my nature.
Okay, so who is the frog and the scorpion in the situation?
I don't know. I think they're both scorpions.
I was going to say, like...
They're just stinging each other. It's like, ow! Ow!
Isn't this just like... pretty much like just a pit of them throwing
it's like twin brother scorpions that are the exact same. The poison can't hurt each other. But it's like, yeah. And so Lex walks out on that, and that's how this episode ends.
Because Lionel does say to Lex, you don't want to be near him. That boy is a psychopath. Stay away.
Sociopath.
But
Lionel truly is a sociopath.
Yeah, but just think about that. If Lionel says that there's something wrong with the kid, good Lord, he's got to have issues.
That's true, actually, yeah. He doesn't even say that about Lex, really.
No, he does not. But Lucas, he's truly like, don't talk to him, dude. You don't understand.
And then we get the nice brother scene between Lex and Clark.
Lex pulls up to the Clark barn, where Clark is now outside of his truck. He's still having to do the chores because obviously Jonathan didn't do anything all day. Clark is then asking, where's Lucas? He's safe. But I'm going to have a lot of work to do in order to regain his trust because I'm not sure what Lex did in order to lose that trust to begin with. Maybe you could help me.
Well, what?
How did Lex lose the trust of Lucas?
He clarified earlier that he was going to use him against Lionel. Like, mainly just use him, not actually be like a brother or, form a bond there. It's stupid, I know.
I was going to say, was he upfront with that, though?
Pretty much.
He didn't say we're going to Dave and Buster's and we're going to be best friends. It's not what he said.
Hey, I just found it. You're my brother. Let's go to Dave and Buster's. I know you missed out on a lot of that.
That's not what really happened. You know what? Guess what, Clark? Everything is kind of done by the fathers that raised us.
Yeah, we're all just struck by the constraints by the wills of our fathers.
All my father does is push me away. Your dad opened up his home to me. That's something that can never just be thrown at the wayside. Clark, you know what? As long as you...
Or as long as I live, I'll probably never understand your family. It's like, yeah, you know what? But that's the difference, And my father and his family, they'll try to rule the world. But your family, they're going to inherit the earth.
Okay, so I put down in my notes.
And the episode ends, by the way.
I put down in my notes for that. I didn't know what that meant. Can you tell me? I get the ruling the earth. I get that. What's the inheriting the earth?
I think it's more so the thing where it's like one side is ruling, wanting the power, wanting the greed. One family is literally just humble. They enjoy what they've been inherited on the earth that is actually theirs. And
when you say like you would set the world free,
probably in a sense,
like that would be
better. Eventually, these rulers are going to die out, and the ones that are going to be left are the ones that actually inherit the earth, that own it.
I think I like my wording better, so I think I'm smarter than Lex. I think I'm going to go with that because Lex doesn't know what he's talking about. For God's sake.
Don't you ever say you're smarter than Lex.
I just said it.
You're not. You're not.
I just said that with my line. I like my wording better. So I'm going to give myself the nod on this one. Get out of my house.
Wow. Well, there goes Prodigal. Man. Kind of, it's not terrible.
No,
it's not a terrible
not
episode.
Easy. What I want,
it's enjoyable. I think it's enjoyable.
Definitely one that you can watch and not be like, okay, I wasted my time.
Right.
Next week, everybody better be wasting their time with us. I swear to God, Fever better be listened to by everybody.
Yeah.
Because this is the worst pile of crap I have ever watched, and if I have to do it, so does this audience.
Yeah, so as you heard, next week is
Fever.
As you may have heard, episode 16 Fever is up next. It's quite the doozy. But
yeah, hold on, I got another thing before we go out. So I had to look up, did Lex really have a brother? Lex didn't. He had a sister. So
what's her name?
Hold on, no, Luna, I believe. Oh no, Lena. So Lana, they changed her name. So I'm going to go through each of them because there's different ones here.
Cool.
Pre-crisis, Lex his parents were shamed by his evil doings, so they decided to disown him. They moved away.
Okay.
And during this time that they moved away, they also had a little girl with them. They changed their last name to Thorul, Thorul. Yeah. So they changed their last name to that, where their daughter at that time was named Lena.
Okay.
When it came to post-crisis, Lena then came back, and Lena is the name of Lex's adopted sister. So they then made her adopted, where she is then killed by her adoptive stepfather because she would not go with his plan in order to take down Lex. So he killed her. And then during the Infinite Crisis, we also have that they then show Lena as his blood sister, who he has actually a love for, even though it's still revealed and they talk about it, and I think she even marries Perry at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that there's so many different scenarios with her, but it's all coming. Her name's Lena. Lena.
I like that. I like the brief background because I want you to keep that on the back burner, bro, because there's definitely more nods to things like that later on.
All right, cool, because we're going to get into it then. The pre-crisis, post-crisis, infinite crisis. That's what we do here.
Indeed. Dude, super fun fact. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot.
Yeah, sorry I had to wait to the
adopted
end.
sister, biological. It's pretty cool. Yeah, again, that was Prodigal. It's, episode 15. Thank you again for listening with us and watching with us, of course. Eventually, we'll get a video format up there so y'all can see how ridiculous and stupid we look when we're going through these episodes.
Ridiculous and stupid. You mean sexy and charming? Yes. Just let you know, it gets heat up in here. Oh. Bite the lower lip.
Yeah, but next week, episode 16, Fever Doozy, let me tell you.
Nope. You're all watching it with us. We're all going to be in pain together. Let's do it.
But catch us then next week. And again, follow us on Twitter. Adios.
You like Asian weaponry?
What?